Are you a loan officer who feels like you're stuck on a referral treadmill? You're constantly chasing down leads, you're always networking, and it feels like you're starting from scratch every single month? Well, what if I told you there's a way to turn that grind into a reliable, sustainable growth engine? That's exactly what we're going to break down today. Let's dive into the playbook for building a mortgage pipeline that really truly works for you. This slide just lays it all out, doesn't it? It perfectly captures the two completely different worlds a loan officer can live in. Over on the left, you've got that grind we were just talking about, the cold, one-off, totally exhausting world of transactional leads. But on the right, well, that's where the magic is. That's the world of warm, consistent, trust-based introductions. Look, this isn't about working harder. It's about shifting your entire approach from chasing deals to attracting partners. And this gets us right to the heart of the problem, the referral treadmill. It's that brutal, endless cycle of chasing low-quality leads one after another. It's the thing that burns you out, makes your business feel so unpredictable, and frankly, it's just not a scalable way to grow. And this quote right here, this is our guiding principle for everything we're about to cover. Strong pipelines are built on intentional, trust-based partnerships. It's a complete mindset shift. So now let's break down exactly how to make that shift happen. All right, let's get into the playbook. We're starting with part 1, building your expert presence. Because think about it. Before you can attract the right kind of partners, you have to position yourself as the go-to expert they simply can't afford to ignore. First up, let's talk networking, but not the old school way of just trying to collect a stack of business cards. This is about being strategic. So step 1, go where your ideal partners already are. Don't waste your time elsewhere. Step 2, and this one is key, lead with curiosity. Ask about their business, their biggest challenges. And step 3, your goal isn't 100 superficial handshakes, it's a handful of truly meaningful conversations. Quality over quantity every single time. But listen, the event itself is just the opening act. The real work, the work that actually builds the relationship, begins after the event is over. Your follow-up is everything. Within a day or two, send a personalized message that actually references what you talked about. Suggest a simple, low-pressure next step, like grabbing coffee, and then connect on LinkedIn with a quick note. This is how a simple conversation starts to become a real, solid relationship. And speaking of LinkedIn, your profile can be an absolute powerhouse if you use it the right way. This isn't just about having an online resume anymore. It's about being strategic. You've got to share valuable insights, not just sales pitches. Engage with what other people are posting so you stay visible. And here's a great one. Publicly highlight your partner's successes. Every little action builds on the last, turning your profile into a 24/7 credibility engine. This brings us to a really powerful concept. Specialization attracts alignment. When you stop trying to be everything to everyone, a generalist, you become the specific solution for partners who serve clients with unique needs. They won't just know a loan officer, they'll know the loan officer for their particular niche. And this chart just illustrates the point perfectly. You could become the absolute go-to expert for VA loans, or maybe you're the specialist for first-time buyers who need extra guidance. You could focus on self-employed borrowers or real estate investors. The point is, pick a lane and own it. When you do, partners who serve that same niche will start actively seeking you out. Okay, so you've established yourself as an expert. Now we get to part 2, proactive partnership. This is where that mindset shift really starts to take hold. It's all about giving value first, before you ever ask for anything in return. It's about becoming a true partner in their growth, not just another service provider. Let's take open houses as an example. The typical LO, they show up, hand out a few business cards, and hope for the best. But the strategic LO? They show up with pre-qualified buyers ready to go. Can you imagine the impact of handing a realtor a client who is already vetted, approved, and ready to write an offer? In that moment, you become their most valuable partner in the room. Another really powerful strategy is co-branding. When you create co-branded marketing materials together, like flyers or market updates, you're not just sitting back and asking for referrals. You're actively helping your partners generate leads and grow their business. It's a total win-win, and it keeps your name consistently in front of their entire audience. Now, a quick but super important legal point, and this is non-negotiable. When you're sharing marketing costs with a partner, you absolutely must stay RESPA compliant. That's the federal law, and it's there to protect everyone. It just means that costs have to be allocated fairly, and everything needs to be transparent. Getting this right is critical to protecting both yourself and your partners. Want another way to really establish your expertise? Host value-driven workshops. You could run a seminar for first-time homebuyers, a strategy session on strengthening credit, or an update on the housing market. By educating your partners and their clients on topics like these, you become an indispensable resource, not just another lender on a list. Okay, but let's be real. What about that top producing agent in your market? The one everybody wants to work with. How do you even get on their radar when they're getting calls from lenders all day long? It's this simple, and it's incredibly powerful. Don't ask them for business. Bring them business. We call this the reverse referral. You find a pre-approved buyer who needs a great agent, and you make the introduction. It is, without a doubt, the fastest way to prove your value and completely flip the dynamic of that relationship in your favor. So all of this work gets us to our final section, Part 3, long-term consistency. Because look, getting a new partner is one thing, but keeping them and deepening that relationship for the long haul, that's what builds a truly sustainable business that lasts. This means showing up where it counts, in your local community. Whether it's sponsoring a local youth sports team or just being an active member of the Chamber of Commerce, people notice. They see someone who is invested in the same community they are, not just someone who's looking for the next transaction. And that builds a deep, authentic level of trust that no marketing campaign can ever replicate. And all of these consistent actions build towards something we call referral partner retention. Now, it might sound like a formal business term, but the idea is actually really simple. It's a structured and sincere process for staying visible. It's about being so intentional and so helpful that when an opportunity comes up, you are the automatic, no-brainer choice for your partners. And here is a pro tip that really separates the good partners from the great ones. The best in the business don't just call when their pipeline is empty and they need a deal. They reach out during the slow months just to check in. That simple, hey, just thinking of you, how's business, call. It shows you genuinely care about their success, not just your own. And that is what builds unshakable loyalty. So we've walked through the entire playbook. But before we wrap this up, let's talk about the payoff for getting all of this right. And just as importantly, the common pitfalls that can derail all of your hard work. You have to avoid these trust killers at all costs. Only calling when you need something, making promises you can't keep, relying on robotic automation instead of a personal touch, and, this is a big one, disappearing the second a deal closes. Each one of these is a crack in the foundation of the relationship you've worked so hard to build. Don't do it. So why does all this effort matter so much? Well, here's the payoff, plain and simple. Those warm introductions from trusted partners, they have dramatically higher conversion rates. Your cost to acquire a new client, it plummets. And maybe most importantly, you build a truly resilient business that can weather any market shift because it's built on that solid foundation of real human relationships. So I'll leave you with this final thought. Forget about trying to do all 9 of these strategies at once. That's overwhelming. Just ask yourself this one simple question. Who is the one partner, just one, that you can add real, tangible value to this week? Start there. That's how you begin.